Hi, my name is Tammy, and today I'm gonna be talking about what has been making me really happy as someone in their mid-20s, approaching doom, perhaps. And this is something I've been sort of noticing and have been taking a part of as this kid. I enjoy documentation. My mother always took photos, my dad was always holding the camcorder, I always had home videos of me. I have photo albums that would fill up a whole bookshelf, and that is something worth holding on to, remembering, looking back at, and that is sort of what I've been naturally gravitating towards as someone who is sort of in between everything at the moment. And me right now, I am currently trying to make these cards. I started first. I think, you know, documentation, we think photo, we think videos. I only have 3 cameras, one of them being this camcorder, which is my dad's. Not 3, I have 4. Jeez. 4 now because I just bought a new one. It's a cheap one, don't worry. My first one is a minolta. This 35mm film camera is what I've been using for a few years now. A lot of trial and error. This one, I've gone through really bad rolls, really good rolls, and figuring out how to use it. I think I know pretty well how to use it, but this is something I feel more comfortable using if I'm not using my phone. I mean, film is very expensive in general. It's hard. I also have a Polaroid camera, Polaroid 600. It's somewhere. I wasn't able to get it out, but I do have a photo album. I like to have albums for many things. This one is torn apart because it was placed near a heater, and now the adhesive is completely useless, and I've tried super glue and everything. It's not sticking, so I'm gonna have to figure out a different solution. But I've had Polaroids dating all the way back to 2021, and I have a lot of photos, a lot of it memories, a lot of it being projects, places I've been to. This was one I took last year, 2 years ago actually, a carnival, amusement park thing. Let me just put this back. What else? This is a cute one. I didn't take this one, but I'm with my sister here. We were at the concert together. It's really nice. It's my first concert. I haven't been to a concert till like 2 years ago. So it's interesting. I'm not someone who likes to be in spaces like that. It's just so many people. And the music is really loud. I get overwhelmed. So oh my gosh, I went down to Virginia and I met this lovely lady down the bookstore, and I took a Polaroid of her. I mean, I also took a photo of her too and gave it to her, but this is an extra one I wanted to keep, so I took that. I mean, the only thing about it is, like, you know, it's like one shot. You only get one shot, and if not, then you kind of lose it. And sometimes the packs that you have they're not even perfect. They're not even produced correctly. So some of them I have, they have spots all over them. The whole pack is like defected in some way, and it's what can you do? I wasted $16 on it. I gotta finish it because it's, what am I gonna do with that? But to solve that issue, this camera from Marshall's, and it prints out like receipt paper, thermal paper, so I could take a photo of you right now, actually. Can you see this? This is the camera. There's me. That is sick. That is sick. I mean, the lighting isn't that great, but it's thermal paper. I could buy like a bunch of this, I can buy a bunch of these rolls and experiment with them. I'm just gonna place it right here on my wall, right above the camera. And it's great. You can always like go back to the digital image and then reprint it, so you can make multiple copies for people. So you don't, one person's gonna be like, oh well, who's gonna get the Polaroid? Who's gonna keep it? No, everyone gets to keep it. The only thing is that you have to, because it is like receipt paper, thermal paper, it does not last. It will fade. So the way I'm doing it is I'm working on it right now. I'm trying to like I would place it on a piece of copy paper or a piece of scrap paper, and I would place like packaging tape over it, and I would cut it, and it would be like its own little card. I'll seal it all up. I heard Mod Podge isn't that good for it because it will fade. So if you want to carry it around and if you want to stuff it in a notebook, this is sort of my method, and it has worked for me for a bit. Even though I've had photos, it's only been a few days since New Year's and I've been using it, and I think it's worked. I haven't seen any problems, and I see it's quite foolproof in my opinion. I mean, what's the tape gonna do? It's not gonna do anything else but stick on it. Anywho, I've made some cute prints. I was at a party earlier, so I've been able to take a lot of photos and experiment with it. Everyone loves it. They're like, oh, what is that? I mean, I love it when people, like, I think holding a camera itself, carrying it around, people are already intrigued. People are like, oh, you just seem approachable, they're curious. And if you're an introvert like me and you want to make friends but you don't know how to get up to someone's face and say hi, you can always point a camera at them. It's worked. It's foolproof, and you know, everyone's smiling, everyone's trying to get it, you know. It's worked in my opinion. So that's a good tip. If also for writing instance, I love journaling. I'm an advocate for journaling, and I only started around the beginning of 2022. And it's because I realize I am an overthinker and I have so many thoughts and I can't remember them at all. And so I have 3 journals. On my 3rd one right now. My first one lasted about a year and a half. And this is Electrum. Held pretty well, but I prefer the moleskine. This is a smaller one. Moleskine is, I'm on the moleskine right now. I usually write about what I've done during the day, how I'm feeling. It's not like a day-to-day thing where I write every single thing that's happened, but I try to, because I find that even in the most mundane moments, when I look back on it like a year later, I'd be like, oh, this is what younger Tammy was thinking. This is what she was doing around this time of year. And it's always good to come back and be like, wow, I've changed. Or not changed. Yes. I also have a separate journal for my dreams, so I use this notebook for my dreams. I have very vivid dreams, and I can write a whole story about it. And they're sometimes very gory and very disturbing. I have a lot of disturbing dreams. But drawing of myself, because I was in this dream where I was like in this video game and I was standing on this snail, and I was sitting on it, and the snail had legs, so they stood up, so I felt myself rise with the snail, and I was like walking like I was controlling it like a vehicle. That was one dream, so I drew it. And I also had a dream, this weird, absurd dream where I was like in this like temple, this ritual, when these older women with their white robes, and they were teaching me this 8-step dance. An 8-step dance. I don't know what it was, but I memorized it when I woke up because it was apparently tested. I was like gonna be tested on it in my dream. So I memorized it and I wrote down 3 steps. It makes no sense. I do a jig in one of them. they're worth writing about just because I feel like it feels like a different world that I live in. And I mean, it's definitely my subconscious that I'm living in my dreams, but it's definitely a different world from reality. And I think it's worth remembering, to say the least. Because I'm like, we don't remember it most of the time. But this is like, we spend a lot of our lives sleeping, dreaming, and stuff. So, I mean, it's good to know where she is going when my eyes are shut. It's like a different world. I've also been teaching, so I write my lesson plans in my different notebook, and then I have a drawing notebook, and I've been crocheting and knitting lately, so I've been like documenting my patterns, my works in a notebook that I found in a classroom and no one used it, but it had like graphs in it, and I just started, so I would like to tape in like the yarn that I used and bought, and then I would, you know, use the tags as well. Oh, I just brought some tags. I would tape the tags in, and then I'll write a pattern down that I used, or like what I used. It's sort of an old school way of doing it. I could just look up on a website, but like this feels like my grimoire in a sense. It's becoming one, and like I've written patterns. It's crochet pattern. This is insane. I can't believe I did that, but we'll have to see. But I like to take photos outside in nature, and I like to like redraw it on a small piece of card, almost like a trading card, an artist trading card, and I'll just sketch it, I'll place it down. It feels like it's a postcard. So I think I'm gonna end this video here. My memory is running out, but this is what I've been doing, sort of preserving my life and others. So I hope this gives you a better perspective, at least in my little world I live in. So